Henry Turner and the Mystery of the Missing Sister. Chapter 7, Climactic Resolution. The courtroom victory against Charles Montgomery was a significant milestone. But for Detective Henry Turner, the case was far from over. As he reviewed the evidence one last time in his office, he couldn't shake the feeling that something crucial had been overlooked. The conviction of Charles Montgomery was a win, but the reach of his criminal network suggested there were still key players at large. Henry's suspicions were confirmed when he received an anonymous tip late one evening. The voice on the other end of the phone was distorted, but the message was clear. "You've only scratched the surface, Detective. There's more to this than you know. Check the docks tonight." Despite the potential danger, Henry knew he couldn't ignore the lead. He quickly informed his team and arranged for backup, but he couldn't wait for them to arrive. The docks were a sprawling area, and any delay could mean losing critical evidence, or worse, allowing another key figure to escape. The night was dark and foggy as Henry approached the docks, the air thick with the scent of salt water and the distant hum of ship engines. He moved cautiously, his flashlight cutting through the mist. The area seemed deserted, but the faint sound of voices guided him toward a large, weathered warehouse at the edge of the docks. Henry peered through a cracked window and saw a group of men huddled around a table, their faces partially obscured by the dim lighting. He recognized Richard Hale among them, confirming his worst fears. Richard had been working with Charles Montgomery all along, orchestrating their illegal activities from the shadows. Determined to catch them in the act, Henry moved silently to position himself closer. He could hear snippets of their conversation, discussing plans to relocate their operations and cover their tracks following Charles's arrest. They mentioned a shipment of weapons scheduled to depart that night, a crucial piece of the puzzle that could dismantle their entire network. Henry quietly radioed for backup, giving his team the coordinates and details of what he had discovered. But he knew he had to act immediately to prevent the shipment from leaving. With a deep breath, he drew his gun and stepped into the warehouse. "Freeze! Police!" Henry shouted, his voice echoing off the walls. The men around the table jumped to their feet, reaching for their weapons. A tense standoff ensued, with Henry keeping his gun trained on Richard Hale, the mastermind still at large. "Drop your weapons and put your hands where I can see them," Henry commanded. For a moment, it seemed like the men would comply. But then, in a split second, Richard made a move toward a hidden gun. Henry reacted instinctively, firing a warning shot that ricocheted off the metal table, startling the men into dropping their weapons. All right," Richard shouted, raising his hands. "No need to get trigger-happy, Turner." Henry kept his gun trained on Richard as his backup arrived, the sound of police sirens cutting through the night. Officers stormed the warehouse, quickly subduing and arresting the men. As Richard was handcuffed and led away, Henry couldn't help but feel a sense of grim satisfaction. The mastermind was finally caught, and the illegal network was on the verge of collapse. But the night wasn't over yet. Henry needed to ensure the weapons shipment was intercepted. He followed the directions Richard had barked out in a final act of defiance, leading the officers to a nearby docked ship. found the cargo hold filled with crates of weapons, ready to be shipped out under the cover of darkness. With swift coordination, Henry and his team secured the ship and confiscated the weapons, effectively crippling the smuggling operation. As dawn broke over the docks, Henry stood by the water's edge, watching the sunrise. The culmination of months of hard work, danger, and relentless pursuit of justice had led to this moment. The case that had consumed him was finally resolved, and the perpetrators were behind bars. Emily Prescott joined him, her expression a mix of relief and gratitude. "It's finally over, isn't it?" she asked, her voice soft. Henry nodded, a rare smile crossing his face. "Yes, it is. Thanks to you and everyone who didn't give up." The resolution of the case brought a sense of closure to everyone involved. Charles Montgomery and Richard Hale were both sentenced to lengthy prison terms, their criminal empire dismantled. Emily could finally move forward, her bravery and determination having played a crucial role in bringing the truth to light. For Detective Henry Turner, the climactic resolution was not just the end of a case, but a testament to the power of perseverance and justice. As he walked away from the docks, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. The city was safer, and justice had prevailed, all thanks to the unyielding pursuit of the truth.